What's up, guys? We are here for another episode of the Discipline and Legacy podcast. I have an amazing guest today, Tricia Messina, local girl. We've already had her husband on the podcast, Nick. They are like a power couple, but she has an amazing story. I definitely wanted to showcase that. She is killing it in the beauty industry here locally, coaching, pouring into the next generation. Just awesome story, awesome testimony. Mother, I appreciate you coming today. I'm glad you answered the call.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you reaching out, and I love to do this stuff, and I love that what you got going on, your channel, and what you represent. So I was like, yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah. I told Nick too, I'm like, man, I got to get her on here. And he's like, yeah. And it just never
Yeah.
but so glad that it happened when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I love that it was today. So,
and Discipline and Legacy podcast. We'll dive right in.
Okay.
Definitely. So go ahead, start from where you started, your local girl growing up. What was it like, and how did you get to where you are today?
Thank God, that we are here now today. I give it all to him, and everything, all my success and all my challenges, we got here because of him. And so I was born in Jamaica, and I love it. I'm an island girl. I love it. I love to be, on the beach. And a lot of people don't see that when they look at my story, like my page, and they're like, oh, she looks a little, bougie, a little stuck up or something.
Nah.
But once you get to know me, I love like the nature. I love natural everything. But yeah, so that's like my roots from Jamaica. And I came here when I was about 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
To Fort Pierce, good old 772.
Yes.
And Port St. Lucie wasn't really that developed just yet. And throughout life, as a kid, a lot of people said that like you couldn't make it here in Fort
Staying
Pierce.
here,
Or,
like,
yeah. Like you have to like leave and
I heard
like
that a
to
lot.
become successful. Yeah, like a lot, especially like if you're from here. A lot of people would say that, especially in high school, and they make you feel like bad if you didn't go off to college and away. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to like stay here. I'm going to try to just show people that you can make it. You can become successful in your own town, in your own city, and especially in the beauty industry, because that was also looked down on. I remember being like 16 years old. I mean, I started this passion like when I was like 13, but I remember being 16 years old, and my mom asking me like, oh, do you want to do makeup and beauty because that's like your passion, and I'm gonna get your cards made, I'm gonna get you a kit. And I was like, no, this is not a real job. Like people always considered this, they always considered it like a side hustle, not like a real thing where you can actually make a career and good money. And so I'll dive into that later, how I got there. But yeah, and I was like, no, Mom, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Like, what are you talking about? So I did like, when I was 13, I got into a little bit of modeling, and they were like, oh, you have to do your own makeup. You have to do, whatever. And all the girls would ask me. And when I turned 16, my mom was like, you need to make money from it. Like at this point, and we're talking about.
You were like the girl, like the girls in the neighborhood, like, oh, do my makeup.
Go-to girl. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And every time like prom, homecoming, whatever, I was like the last one doing my own, and I was doing everybody. And it was fun. It was cool. It was definitely a passion. I started traveling at 16, so we're talking about almost 15 years ago, around there, 15 years ago. Yeah, traveling, doing weddings, brides, doing all that stuff for like $20 or like free.
So people would hire you. You'd travel to wherever they were for their weddings and stuff, and do their makeup at that young of an age.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you have like a portfolio where people could see it, or was it social media? What was it?
No, back then like there wasn't really social media. It was just like photos on your phone, and then like just you're taking your word, because like my mom. So
you had websites too. So
how it really started. My mom had a bridal boutique.
Okay.
So she would recommend like, hey, my daughter does makeup. She can do your wedding makeup. So I kind of like set up a little station in her bridal boutique, and then I also did travel. So that's kind of like where it originated.
Mom helped you get on.
Yeah. She saw the vision. She's an entrepreneur. So is my dad, my grandmother. They're all entrepreneurs. So they understood, and they definitely supported my dream and my idea. Probably not financially, but like they were like rooting for me. They didn't say it was
That's all you need, though.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for real. And you just need like the people to just be like, giving you the encouragement and saying like you could do it, because a lot of people around you try to discourage you if they don't see like okay, there's money in it. Like they want to tell you, like, oh, go to school, become a doctor, become this, and do the original
safe route.
Yeah, inside the box thing. It's not a bad thing, but they don't really promote you to do like your own career. So good thing that they were already like doing their own stuff. But yeah, my family, like, we're not fortunate at all. My dad, he like they say, he got it out the mud. Like, he had his own way. He
You
was
could
19.
say it. This is the Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
Got it out the mud.
And he came here actually when he was 16, from like, I think, Connecticut or something like that.
Okay.
And he created his own business. He was the first locksmith in Treasure Coast. He had the first cell phone. Like, he was doing it. He was killing it. And he wanted to retire because it was like very extremely exhausting. He would get calls in like middle of the night, 4:00 in the morning, whatever, and he couldn't have a family or a life. So he sold it, moved to Jamaica. Yeah, it's a hard call. But he just wanted to live that free lifestyle. And when he moved to Jamaica, that's when he met my mom.
Okay.
They fell in love. They got married. He built a house there, like from scratch. He could build anything. Like, so you went.
So he literally like.
Yeah.
Poured the slab, built. Okay.
Yeah. So he made like running water from the waterfall up into the house, like electricity into the house. Like he did.
That's
he did
the best.
thing.
I experienced that waterfall water like in Brazil. It was like the best water.
And it's right in the backyard.
It's cold and everything.
Yeah,
coming
very
out.
cold. But he made it actually warm. So he put it up into the roof of the house to where the heat would get onto the water, and then so
The water heater.
he's super smart. I will say that I got a lot of my work ethic from him, especially my mom too. I mean, they can go off onto an island and survive if they had nothing. Like they could.
Yeah.
That's them, and I love that because they put that into me and my brother.
100%.
So yeah, with building business and stuff like that, I did open my salon when I was 23 years old. So a lot of that, thank God, I'm a little handy, so I didn't have to hire a lot of people. My dad, my brother, my mom were all very handy.
Put everything together. I learned that too. It comes in 4,000 people. Now, it didn't used to be that way. You could call rooms to go. They drop it off.
Yeah,
But now you got to put it all together.
All the pieces. And my dad, he's a carpenter, so he likes to do everything from scratch.
Okay.
He likes to go the long, hard route. He doesn't.
But it's better quality.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everything is and so that's what we spent our weekends doing was in the yard, in the garden, or in the garage, sanding and painting. And I mean, back then I hated it, but it helped me learn structure.
Yeah.
He also did put us in karate, my brother and I. So we are senseis, we're black belts.
Wow.
Yeah, my brother and I.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
People think the black belt thing, even jiu-jitsu, all that, it's years.
Yeah.
It's dedication. It's consistency. It's
discipline.
100%.
Yeah. So we used to practice 5 times a week. We would go to competitions and the world, what is it called? World Open, the U.S. Open in Orlando. It was fun. It was,
Break boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can break boards. I loved fighting. That's my thing. I
but it's
actually grew
the
up
discipline fighting though. You're not gonna go out and try to fight.
No.
If you got to protect yourself.
I got a story with that too.
Let's hear it.
Which actually got me into more in the beauty career. That's what helped me. But so I love doing that, and it just teaches you how to complete a task because it's not an overnight thing. It's years. We did that for almost 10 years, 9 to 10 years. So that was fun. And then we became adults and I just kind of stopped. But I got my daughter into it and she loved it. And she's doing other sports now. But yeah. So how did this become my career? I was in college. I was 18 years old and I was going to school to become a child psychologist. I love psychology. I love the way that the brain works, and I love children and just teaching the new generation, that there's other ways to think about things. You don't always have to think of the negativity of things or the bad way, So I was going to school. Nick hates that I tell this story because he's like, I don't want people to look at you that way.
Oh, Lord.
And there was this girl. She was a little crazy, a little cuckoo, and she was in my class, and she always wanted to, she was a little...
She was trying you.
Yeah. She's been doing that since high school, and I'm more of the type that like I laugh things off. It's like everything's like a joke to me. I'm like, whatever, girl. But she did put her hands on me, and we got into it. She ended up in the ICU.
Wow.
And we were suspended.
The karate.
Yeah.
So you threw the karate on her.
I actually didn't do any karate moves.
Okay.
So I didn't go like, crazy. It was just a normal little like cat fight
Scuffle.
or whatever. Yeah, a little scuffle. And
this was at school?
Yeah, and this was on
beat up the
IRC
school bully.
campus.
I did in middle school. I beat him up.
Yeah, really?
Yeah,
You know what? I've gotten to a couple like in school, but it was just because like a lot of people just want to like test you, They just, Just like,
I learned a lot of people would, there was a lot of talk, but then it was like really time to go. And they were like, oh, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, don't say anything. If you don't have anything to back it up with,
Right.
just you have nothing nice to say. Don't say anything at all. Just keep it to yourself.
But that's the whole, I think you got to be that way even as an adult, right? It's like Joe Rogan said, I'd rather be a warrior in a garden instead of a gardener in a war. So you still got to be ready at a moment's notice. And, my wife will throw down too. Like she told me, she's like, I'll.
Sometimes you got to get in those.
Yeah.
Listen, I was pregnant and this lady, it was in Publix and she was like about to like go at me.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like,
Publix is a negative. Like I was in there one day, this dude, it was like Christmas.
Yeah.
And this guy, like this lady was in front of me. She's getting her sub. And then the guy that was helping her was like, she's like, oh, can I get some potato logs too? And she went over to go get some tater logs, and the dude was in line, and he's like, "Oh, you're skipping me," and like just started going in on this lady. I'm like, and I was like, "Bro, it's Christmas, like, calm down." And my wife's like, "Shh, like, what if he has a gun?" And I'm like,
that's how it is nowadays. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's sad. People
but
are
he
just
left,
so.
and everybody was like, "Thank you for saying something," and it's like, I wasn't gonna sit there and let him just go in on this lady like in front of everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, thank God you were there because, some people rather just, like, take it, and then there's some people that just love to just give it. So, I mean, sometimes wrong place, wrong time. But, yeah, so, I mean, during the time of, the whole being kicked out of college, I was like, I don't like to
This
waste
was
time.
Fort Pierce campus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
Wow, you got kicked out of college.
yeah. And I actually ended
So
up.
then you're like, all right, now I got to be a boss.
Yeah. Well, that, and then we ended up going to jail. I ended up going to jail. She was 17, I was 18, right when I turned 18,
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, I have this on my record. I can't go to school at this time. And like, now I'm forced to be my own boss. Like, I have to make this happen. I have no other route. And, usually when you're like, put in a corner like that, that's when you're most motivated. And I didn't have like anyone to fall back on, like financially, things like that. So I really had to make it happen. And so I mean, I got pregnant during the time that I was in cosmetology school, and I almost quit because I was like, like this is like I'm not motivated. The school that I went to, I would not recommend it. I'm not going to put the name out there.
We don't got to name names.
Yeah, I'm not.
Cosmetology school in the fort.
It was not the best, but if you can stick through and graduate, then kudos. But it took me about 2 years, and then I finally finished, and I went to a salon in Tradition. They actually asked me to work out there, and I was like, I didn't want to split commission. I didn't want to pay booth rent, but I also was ahead of myself. And sometimes you have to start from scratch and not be so just because I got my license, I want to open this and I want to do this and I want to do that.
You had a head start already too, because you were working with your mom. Like you already kind of knew the game a little bit.
Yeah,
so the business side was more. I see where you're going with it.
Yeah. But I mean, I still needed those 3 years at
100%.
the salon before I even opened my own. I mean, some people just come into my salon and they're there for like a couple months and they're like, all right, I got this. Like, I'm going to go open up. And I'm like, listen, like slow your roll a little bit, be humble, be patient. It's okay. Like, you can start from scratch and you can just wait
Just
a little
try to help
longer.
people so they don't have to beat their head against the wall. I mean, that's like my wife's the same way with her company. She's like helps the girls that work for her. Like she wants to see them succeed. She wants to help them. It's not like trying to keep nobody stuck. It's like, but some people like, I got this. All right.
Yeah. And I mean, I was in that position and thank God. I mean, like, I just only had myself to just talk to, have my conversations like, all right, girl, you got to slow it down. But I was in the salon and it was great. I mean, I was taking like 10, 15 clients a day. And it was just like boom, 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 boom. It showed me how to multitask, and I just like was more of the observant, quiet. Like I was the youngest one there, and a lot of people did question like my ability and things. And then like when I performed, they were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then I just like stayed pretty booked. I was making pretty good money at 21 when I was like working there. 21, whatever. And I felt like, oh, I'm on top of the world. But I'm like, when I sat back and I calculated everything, I was like, man, I could like have my own business. I could be paying this, much in rent and like having this much more money. So a lot of people like sometimes get comfortable and they're okay with like the same old check and the same old, and that's okay. That's
Right.
not a bad thing. Cause like if you don't want to like jump out and like have overhead and things like that, like that's fine. Like I definitely don't.
Has responsibility.
Yeah,
lots of
exactly. And I don't knock that. And, same thing. I mean, with my dad right now, he works on yachts. Like that's his thing. And I'm like, Dad, you can have your own business. And he's like, listen, sometimes I like to just come home and clock out and don't have to worry
We
about
have
it.
guys like that in construction. They were truck drivers. They own their own trucks, and they're like, man, I just want to show up every day and you tell me where to go.
Yeah.
And just get a
Yeah,
check
yeah,
and
yeah.
not have to go hustle.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like, because
yeah.
that's what it is. Like even you got to go get it.
Yeah. So if you're not like, if you don't have that, consistent, like every single day, and even just like a little bit, sometimes some days, like if you don't have that in you to just try, then, you can just like do the comfortable route, which is not bad at all.
Or work your way
So,
up to it. I mean, like you did. Like you was like, hey, you took that time
Yeah.
to really look around and kind of pick up the
Yeah.
learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah, and I realized like after 3 years, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make this exit, and I'm gonna start looking at other places and do it and make it happen. I mean, after 1 year of being at that salon that I was at in Tradition, I remember telling the boss, because I ended up doing Cardi B's makeup.
Okay.
And I told the boss, and I was like, I'm going to go to Atlanta and I'm going to be a celebrity makeup artist and da-da-da-da. And she was like, well, just think about it before you go. And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Ugh, whatever. She's trying to get in my head." But I'm so glad that I took my time and didn't just like, rush off, because I realized that this was like my calling was this route. And not only just having a salon, but like opening it up as like an academy and teaching
Yeah.
other people, other women how to do, this, because I went in circles. When I opened my salon, I promise you, there was no like ebooks. There was no like YouTube,
Right.
like other like entrepreneurs telling them,
No
like telling you
ChatGPT.
how to, yeah, no chat, like
You had to figure it out.
no Canva. Like what would I do if I had Canva?
Right.
But yeah, everything was a longer, harder route, and I just kept going in circles. And I would, I'd like turn this paper in. They're like, "Oh, you still need one more thing," and I'm like, "Oh." So then I go back, and I'm like, I have this planner. I still have it from 2018, and I have all these ADHD notes everywhere.
Isn't it awesome to look back at that stuff?
Yeah, actually,
I
yeah.
have I love it.
Yeah.
It shows you where the beginning.
How far? Yeah, like your thoughts at that time, and thank God I had that too. And but in the process of having a salon, I did create a woman entrepreneurship planner with tabs that's very organized, and it's really good material. It feels so great,
Yeah.
and it just has all the stuff like your branding, your marketing, your supplies, products. Like just how to track all stuff for your business.
And you used it, so it was like kind of your blueprint that worked for you.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, the planner that I used before was just literally just a planner and not organized at all. So I knew I got into like my own head and was like, all right, now if other women are going through this, let me see how they would be able to organize, their business. So, yeah. So that was, one of the things. But back in 2019 was a great year. Before COVID.
That was your first year.
Yeah, that was my first year. I was 23 years old and opened the salon, and everybody was like in my messages, like, how did you do this? How did you do this?
Yeah.
And so like I'm responding back like paragraphs and taking a lot of time out of my day on top of like, constantly
Yes.
like book with my clients and going and being a mom, a single mom at that. Like I opened my business being a single mom, and taking that time and like sending all this information. I'm like, okay, I need to start charging for this.
100%.
I need to have like an academy or some kind of seminar. And listen, as soon as we posted it and made a flyer, everybody was like booking it. And I was like, okay, this is like a lot. And we had, I think, like 5 or 6 girls in the salon at that time. And then I had my receptionist, which was my sister. And she was so busy that, like, I was like, okay, maybe I need another, like, an assistant or a receptionist, because, like, she can't even get to the things that we really need to get to, because we're, like, I don't know, it was just, like, piled in. Everybody wanted eyebrows. Everybody wanted makeup. Everybody, you know, the beauty trend started coming in, because that was, like, you know, like, started popping around that time, and makeup, and, you know, thankfully.
I think it's always been a thing, but I mean, maybe not that it wasn't affordable, but I don't know. Maybe it was, I guess you would say it was like a trend, fad. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, makeup, like, being a makeup artist was kind of like, okay, that's what you do. Like, you know, let's really see how much you make.
Right.
You know, I remember a girl telling me, okay, so I'll just say this, it was on Facebook, and I commented something, and she commented, and she was like, yeah, that's a good side hustle. Like, that's side hustle money. That's not a real career. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I actually booked her. So she ended up becoming a lash artist. I booked her. I went to her spot. They ended up closing. So she ended up coming to my condo. And when she got there, she was like, wow, like, this, you have this from just, like, doing makeup? And I'm like, yeah.
So the one that was talking junk then came in. That's about how it is most of the time. Folks who are talking junk just want to, I mean, not jealousy, but haters, but they want to learn. They want to be like you.
Yeah. So, like, I'm, like, super overly nice to them, because I'm like, they have nothing to be mad at. Like, you know, just come join. You can see it for yourself. Yeah. So a lot of people really did talk down on it. And now there's, like, this industry is a little bit oversaturated right now. That's why I always recommend to, like, my students, like, pick 1 or 2 things and get really good at it. Get obsessed. Yeah, get obsessed with it, and then be the best at it, and then you will get booked. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, don't feel like you have to do everything.
If you had to say, like, what your like niche is, or your number one thing that you're good at, what would you say it is? Because you do everything,
so,
right?
Yeah.
So you're making.
And I don't recommend that to people, because
it took time for you to get there.
Yeah. And it took me, like, doing it 10 times a day, every single day of the week, to become, like, you know, perfected in those areas. But I have, like, a balance. So I'm super booked with brows, like semi-permanent tattoos, and then the makeup and hair, like the bridal stuff. So it's like my first passion, my first love was makeup. And then about 10 years ago, when I was at the salon, the first salon that I was working at, the owner was like, how about you do microblading? And back then, when you knew somebody did something, you didn't become that as well. So like you respected each other. Like, oh, there's already a girl that does eyebrows. So there was already like 2-3 girls that did eyebrows here in this county. And I was like, no, you know, but I was like, okay, everyone has their own technique, their own style. I can do mine differently.
That's it.
And, you know, my clients will like what I do, then they'll come to me.
It's your brand.
Yeah. And there's no, like, competition. And if they go somewhere else and they like, you know, her work, her style,
go
their
ahead.
conversations,
if
you know?
like it over there, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I had a barber. It was my barber for like 5 years. He knew how, I would go in there. We talk. I mean, I'm sure the salon's very similar to like a barber shop where, like, girl, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but I was just like, that was my spot, man. And when Sammy left, he moved up to Gainesville. I was like lost, and I would like go try like other barbers. My wife's like, no, it's not the same. Like, and she could tell, I could tell, like.
Yeah. Once you make that connection, your spot, like your go-to.
100%.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and that's what I love. Like, I mean, I got my hair done today at another salon, and I was like, oh, love it here. Like, we just connect, and I felt great. It's kind of like therapy a little bit.
Yeah,
we're like therapists, but without the license.
Self-care is important. And that's part, like, look good, you feel good. Like, you know, everybody jokes with me. They're like, man, how do you get so tan? I'm like, well, I run a bulldozer sometimes, but I go to the tanning bed or what. Like,
self-care is a must.
I just went and got my toes done with, you know, and with
you know what?
It ain't. I'm not above it.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a mandatory thing. It's not a luxury thing, even though you want to, like, put it in that category. It's like a luxury. I feel like self-care should be a must. Everybody should take care of themselves, should book that appointment, go, because, like, it does something to your mind. It does something to your body. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look good. Like, you know, the whole thing. But
you are good. You step out in confidence. You do everything in confidence in life. So
of course.
It's important.
Yeah. So All right, so back to the whole journey.
Yep.
So after 2019, 2020 came, and COVID came along
Yep.
with that. And actually during that time when we had like a little bit of a break, I actually expanded my salon. And yeah, because we were doing really well.
Still killing it in COVID.
Yeah, and I
Was
had
that
clients
legal?
who did not care.
They just showed up. They didn't even put a mask on? Or
I was trying to tell people like, no, no, no. And then like while I wasn't as booked and busy because of like that, that rule, that's when I was like building out the other side of the salon and getting it going. And then I posted out there, I was like, hey, I'm looking for 3 or 4 ladies that I can train from scratch to work here in my salon. And, like there's certain stipulations or whatever. And I had 85 resumes. Yeah.
Wow.
Get submitted. So like
this is like heart of COVID or is it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this was like March, April, like around that time. Yeah.
That's
And then
awesome.
we went full force like May, June, when adding the girls in and like promoting and things like that. But yeah, so we were so busy that I couldn't even like review the resumes. Like I had to get my sister to like make bullet points on each girl. Like, okay, this one has this one does this.
Wow.
We were so busy, like, and I don't recommend working yourself to the ground. I will say that I'm really big into my health, big into mental health as well. And back then, like, being booked out 6 months straight, like I never had a chance to book my doctor's appointments, my dentist appointments, go to any of my family's functions, like birthday parties. I was just missing all of that. Just kind of just went with the flow. I never like blocked out my schedules. It was just like, okay, well, booked. Even so booked that like girls who get their brows done, you have to come back for a touch up in a few weeks. And like, we didn't even have a spot for that. So
Wow.
like, then I had to stay like later to just get them in. Like it was kind of like that, but you know.
Wow. So where most people in the world were like figuring out what they're going to do, you were like still figuring out what you're going to do, but because you were so busy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
And then the hustle, would you say that foundation like that you built during that time was like part of what helped you grow later on? I mean, because sometimes you do, like you said, you need that little break to be like, all right, now I can take a deep breath and organize and make this the way that I've been wanting it to do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I loved it. Like, I definitely feel like that, that like foundation of just being, even before opening my salon, like that hustle there helped me. So when I got into like so busy and so booked that I knew, like I wasn't, it wasn't chaotic. It was just like, okay, like the girls, they would need me to come over and check on them while I'm teaching a class of like 4 or 5 students. And then I have my other girls on the other side, and then I have my receptionist in my ear. So I'm like, okay, you go there, like this.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, you would see me kind of like just running around in there and not eating.
But you handled it.
Yeah. It was a good time. I will say, like, those are the most times that you usually miss the most. They're like the chaotic and the crazy rush. And it's like, I always look back at that. I mean, we definitely slowed down a little bit because I wanted it to be that way with being a new mom over again, getting married, and just like I want to be like more involved and like have like a life.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's all about. You work so you can enjoy your time off and then obviously building a team or getting it to the point where you don't have to be there as much. So
yeah, and that's what I tell my parents, because like they're the type to like work hard now, play later, and I'm like, okay, you're working so hard for what? Like, you need to have some type of balance. You need to be able to go on a vacation. And like every time I go on vacation, I'm like, I wish they were here. I wish they could see this, because like they're gonna just work their whole life and they're gonna hear me saying this, but that's just how they are, you know. And my dad actually is supposed to retire next month. Now he can't. But
I feel like I'm not gonna ever retire either.
His boss passed away, so now he has to take on the load. He knows everything in that company, and so it's just like when you're just like almost there, you worked so hard,
it planned and everything. And it was like
he was gonna go back to Jamaica, fix up his house, renovate it. We're gonna go down there, like help him out a little bit, and but so things happen.
God's got a plan.
Yeah,
he always does.
I believe it. So. I mean, I know I was just kind of jumping all over my story.
No, you were right where you were needed to be. So touch on, you got through COVID. You had that. I'm the same way. Like, I feel like I can't operate unless my plate is overflowing.
Yeah.
But that time that you needed to take a breather. So you talk about that a little bit, where you were like, hey, now it's time, I want to settle down.
Yeah.
And how you transition that with your business.
Okay. So when I met my husband, I didn't know he was going to be my husband. And he was very persistent on going on a date. And I was like, I'm just so busy. Like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Like, because he was very consistent. Like, I was like, okay, maybe I need someone who's consistent in my life like this, that wouldn't just like easily give up. Like, I need somebody that just like will come and stay around, And he invited me on his, like, one of his work incentives. And I actually was I was planning on canceling on him. But then, so I booked some students during that time that was supposed to be like our vacation. And those students got COVID. And I was like, wow, what are the chances? They all, like, it was a group of girls.
Same
They were
time,
friends.
yeah.
They were friends. So I guess they were hanging out or whatever. And I was like, he texted me and he's like, are we still on? I was like, all right, I know how to fight. So if anything, because I don't like to go out of the country, people like, that I just kind of like met or just knew of, but I didn't really know like that. So I was like, okay, what bad could happen? Like, I could book my flight, come back, if I could fight if I need to, like, whatever.
Yeah. That's funny. You're thinking about if you got to fight somebody.
Yeah. Well, him, like, you never know. You go off on these vacations and, sometimes the girls don't return.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, but Nick's definitely not that guy. We got over there, and I was like, okay, maybe he'll go off and, like, be with his work people. And I just, like, I'm okay with being alone. Like, I like to be alone, and, I can, like, socialize and make friends wherever I go. And no, we were like this every single day, all day. Yeah. And I was like, I like this guy. He's cool. He feels like my boyfriend already. Like, we were just kind of talking. And I felt like very like trustworthy. Like I felt, comfortable and he could lead. And most of the time I'm usually like the alpha. And I'm like, okay, make sure we have this. We have our passports. We have the, and I didn't even know what the room number was. Like, I was like, I'm just following you. Yeah. So I like that. I was like, okay, check.
Yeah.
So that's when I like started to realize like I deserve to calm down a little bit and enjoy life a little bit. And because I know that was your question, was like when was the turning point? And we came back and we started getting pretty serious like fast, and we decided like let's move to Orlando. And I said that I needed a little bit of a breakaway from my business. I still was there on the weekends. I would still drive down every weekend.
And this thing was still open too. You had like
I had other girls.
I
had other girls in there, and it was going good. It was fine. But I did like to have some kind of routine of like when I come home, I'm a mom, I'm a wife. Like I enjoyed doing that stuff, like being in my kitchen and taking my daughter to gymnastics.
Yeah, you're definitely a chef, right?
Yeah.
Throw down.
I love to cook. I am like, when you have that Italian, you have that Jamaican and a little bit of Indian in there, like, you just can kind of.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's rare too, I think. I mean, it's rare to find someone that has that passion, because what's that saying? They say way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? It's so crazy. Oh, my gosh. He's going to hate me. He doesn't like to try any of my food. He's like a chicken nugget, chicken tender, and fries type of guy.
Yeah.
Like that's him. And I'm like, babe, I'm literally like from scratch. Like I'm making this, and I want you to try what I just made.
At least try it, yeah.
Like I went to the store, I bought everything fresh. Like nothing is like microwavable here. But whatever, he's a little stubborn with that.
Just got to find his favorite one that you can cook for him.
You know what? He likes his like pasta. He likes his, the basic pasta. So when I do that, he's like, "Oh, yay, my favorite." I'm like, But no, I love to cook. And if I wasn't doing this like career, I probably would be a chef. Like that. Yeah. I tell people that all the time. And I used to be vegan.
That's the chef culinary school.
Yeah, I think I want to get into it. Like, you would probably be like, no, like do something more or something. I mean, not to belittle it, but I love like cooking and putting things together and the flavors. And one day I want to be like a food judge somewhere, like on some TV show.
It's about passion, like you said when early on for you, like what you did was a passion for you from a young age.
Yeah.
And I think that I can identify with that. That if you do something with a passion, like the money is like icing on the cake later, because it just kind of happens.
Yeah.
And some people don't see it like that, but you get like on this frequency where you're like, wow, it's didn't even expect this to happen, but guess what? Now have a business.
I will say that reminds me, like, okay, so from March, April, when I opened in 2019 to the end of the year, when it was time to like do my taxes and stuff, like they always say like your first 2 years you're gonna have a loss and then you start to like make profit. So I wasn't even thinking about money. Like I was just doing my client.
Hand over
just
fist,
I'm there
taking it.
Like yeah, so it was my passion. I was just going at it, and then teaching. After a couple of months of opening, I was like, okay, I want to do the instructor thing and start teaching other women. And then like when I looked back, I was like, oh my gosh, we made 6 figures. Like. Okay. So then the next year I was like, all right, I just want to make like $50,000 more than last year. And then like we doubled that.
Wow.
And then like the third year was like tripled that. It was just like, my accountant was like, you're moving a little fast.
Yeah.
Like you're like,
time to plan.
Yeah. She was like, you don't even know that you're making this amount. Like she was like, okay, this is a lot for you. I don't know.
I'm so glad I got an accountant now. I've never had money in my whole life, and it was like all of a sudden they're like, yeah, you owe taxes, and I'm like, what? I've been a tax return guy my whole life. Yeah. Like I've been expecting that W-2, and then all of a sudden that's the passion, right? It was like, man, I love what I do for a living, and now I'm.
Yeah, but I will always say that make sure that you like try not to take on everything all by yourself, because like when I first opened the salon, everyone's like, yeah, you can just have QuickBooks and they can do your accountant, da da da. So I was like trying to go the cheaper route and just do it all by myself, and then I had to pay for it in the end. Like I had to hire someone, I had to pay loads of money into just fixing my stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do things the proper way. I'm gonna hire this person. I'm gonna do this. I'm like, it's okay.
Build your team.
Yes, delegate tasks to certain people so that you can do like. You don't have to split yourself in so many different directions.
Yeah.
You could put more time and energy into like your actual passion and making it, perfected and all that. So that was a lesson learned too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if I covered. I mean, there was one time when we had like 10 girls in the salon. They were all booked and busy. And now, like, if you look at all of their like portfolios and their social medias, they're doing really, really well. A lot of women in just Florida, just in general, like I've trained, and it's been great. I mean, just to kind of see the hunger and the passion, and everybody wants to like, have their own thing. And it's like, I remember I keep reflecting back at that time where I was like, I want to do this. Like, what would I give to have like a mentor or somebody to coach me, or like I would have paid. There was like one point I almost reached out to this girl in LA and it was like, can I just pay you $10K and just give me all your secrets? Like, give me all your information. And people
It's great that you realize that though too, because a lot of people don't, like they invest in stocks or they invest in all these other things, but investing in yourself, like at least I can control my outcome, right?
Yeah.
Or to an extent, right? You can, but I know what hustle or what drive I have to so investing and I've invested in mentors and coaches, and I played sports at a young age, and I think that was part of like learning that, hey, I need to know someone that is good at this particular thing.
Yeah.
Because I want to get good at it.
Yeah. Usually like, you can find somebody with a blueprint, but I will say in the beauty industry, like the salon, like I remember even like signing up for SCORE. It's a free program you can do at IRSC. And I was like looking for, like, I'm telling you, for somebody to just teach me. And there was nobody with that direction. It was all like medical, and I'm like, okay, I'm still taking notes because I can like maybe just convert this into like something. But I'm telling you, like I just studied people and saw what they were doing, and I just like try to duplicate it. I'm a lot like a visual learner. Once I watch something, I see something, I can just go and recreate it. So that comes in handy too. Like it doesn't just like it's not just tossed around to everybody. But I know that even if you are not that type of person, you can become that. Like and when I teach my students, a lot of people like to ask you like how long you've been doing something to try to measure how good you are at it. And I always say, somebody who's been doing something 5 years but once a month is nowhere better than somebody who's been doing it for a year 5 times a day, every day of the week,
getting in the reps,
so it's like it really is about like how much time you put into something, and so I always tell them, like, if somebody asks you how long you've been doing this, like just change the topic or something, or like, hey, I just started, but I have been practicing a lot, and like that's how like the typical people kind of the stereotype is.
I'm an experienced person. Like you can tell and I don't know if I was like a gift that was given to me where you can judge people, you can get vibes off of people, like you could just feel people out a certain way, and like you could. I'm in a position now where I'm in a managerial role, and we're having to hire people, and it's like I take them out there, show me.
Yeah.
Everybody can do everything until you get them on the job site. So show me. At first, walk up to the equipment. If they don't check the oil, no. Like, that's the first thing you learn. Like, that's something that's came up for me recently too. Is it like to have like a school that teaches people that? Like, I can give them a certificate. Like, and having a school of kids teaching them construction, because trades and industry are going to be getting paid like doctors and lawyers here soon. So it's something that, and especially in this area that's growing. We have industrial warehouses now. We have, we're starting to become a metro area.
Yeah. Port St. Lucie is literally like the next West Palm or like the next Miami.
But you could even transfer that into, a business, just teaching people it by itself.
Yeah. See what's needed and like be that, with the trades. Like you can definitely it's like 10 months to 2 years learning a trade, and then like you could do really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you got going on now?
So I do have a new baby.
Yes.
She's going to be 7 months this month. And
how's that been going?
I love it. I actually loved that. Like I started all over. I will say with my first daughter, it was like I was in survival mode and doing a lot of work. She was just like coming along with me and just seeing that. And like I never really spent a lot of time doing the motherly things. I was trying, but I also was like mom, dad, business owner, and never said no to anyone. But now that like 10 years went by, I'm married, like I feel like, okay, now I can actually like have the support and I can like really enjoy this. I feel like it's like I'm just so in love all over again.
Yeah.
Like every day, even when like I don't get enough sleep or when she's crying and I'm like, and I'm frustrated, I'm like, this is only temporary. Like I love this.
In it.
Like, yeah. And I'm like, she's so cute. I love her. So it's like, it's so hard to just be like, oh, I can't wait. My first time I was like that. I can't wait for the next stage or the next, phase. When she gets a little older and she can talk. And
before you know it, she's 30 or driving a car and like,
Yeah. So you don't want to rush that process. And so I'm actually very grateful. And, Nick is a great dad and he's like doing amazing. He has helped me so much because I kind of like went right back into work because I already committed when I was pregnant to some jobs. And he was like, you don't even have to work. like, why are you working right now? He's like losing his mind because he has a baby. And she was a little tough the first couple months. She was in a lot of pain.
Okay.
My delivery was like very rough. I was in the hospital for 5 days, almost 6 days. The typical C-section is usually like 3 days. But I had a lot of bad scar tissue, and the doctor, she didn't even know what she was cutting through. She was like cussing. Wow. I hear her cutting me and cussing. She's like, she can't have any more babies after this. And she's like losing her mind and panicking over there. And I'm like, I have this sheet and I can't see anything.
I've witnessed my son being C-section birth.
Yeah. Nick was like, I'll never put you through that again. But like the other day, he's like, so you want to have another baby? I'm like,
he's ready for his son.
Wait. Yeah. What if we have another girl? Like the house is like crowded with girls. That's crazy. But yeah, so it was just a little tough. But like even through that experience, like I still enjoyed it. It was like, wow, we made it. We're here. We made a home, and it was, it was a little rough on the baby. She like had to go to the chiropractor like 2 weeks old. And
really?
Yeah. She was going through some pain. And
my son had, what was it? It wasn't colic, but it was, we had to spend like $10,000 a month on formula.
Yeah.
We didn't spend that much. Like a lot of it was part of like they gave it, but it was expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
He was like, couldn't process milk proteins.
And like acid reflux and all that stuff. Like that's what she had, and like a little colic, and like her neck was out, and it was just like very, it's tough,
I see the babies too, and they're in there, they're all curled up, and like they get out and they're still in the same position. It's like the grandbaby's legs like up here, like push it down, it still goes back up.
They think they're still inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I love it. I love the whole process. I mean, it can be tough. And I mean, so I'm slowly getting back into, work, and I like that I have the power of like booking my schedule,
Right.
because I used to not have that, and people would just like book me like crazy. So I like that, like
You
people
set
respect
your schedule.
Yeah, people respect now that I'm like a mom all over again, and they're not like rushing too much, and I'm kind of like doing my thing. I'm
Do you have
chilling.
that like where obviously you took some time off where like people were like waiting for you to come back?
Okay. Yes. And it was only like less than a month. And I had like my clients was like, I know you're on maternity leave, but I need this. And I'm like, all right, girl, like I'll meet you there, carrying the
Yeah.
baby with me. I do take her to work with me, every day with me. So still breastfeeding. So that's that's a job right there.
Right.
But yeah, I had those clients.
My wife's like that with her clean. She's like she sold like a portion of it to some of the accounts, and they're like texting her like months later and like, please let us get
I
you
need
again.
you.
She's like, no, I have a no compete. Like, I'm sorry, but like
Yeah.
after 6 months, let's talk. Like, but
Well,
it's
because people like what they like.
Yeah.
Once you like build that trust, and you have quality work, and like they get used to that, and so they it's like, oh, we're once you're gone,
Yeah.
I need you. Yeah. So I mean, even when we moved to Orlando, they're like, what am I gonna do? Like, where am I gonna go? I'm like, I'm still coming back on the weekends. It's okay. I'm not gonna leave. But sometimes I think about it. I'm like, what's the next chapter? What's the new thing? Because I always like to work on the next project. That's
Yeah.
like an ADHD thing.
I'm definitely there.
Like once you like finish a project, it's like, okay, next
I'm
one.
making socks right now, so the socks are coming, and underwear. I'm
Okay.
tired of buying Calvin Klein underwear for $40 and they rip.
Yeah,
So-
you need some good quality stuff.
That's what men get once or twice a year is socks and underwear, and the quality is just ain't there.
Yeah, got a couple holes in it. I'm
Doing
like,
it.
I'm like, babe, you gotta throw this one out. You gotta throw this one away.
She's like, my wife's like, these are your church underwear, huh? They're holy.
That's funny. Well, that's cool. It's cool that making that investment, making things like that, because that's what people actually realize that they really need. Quality things.
You can't find good stuff. You want to get it yourself or do
Make
it on
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does you have the planner? What, you have any books you've written? What do you got going on?
Yeah. So I have that planner. I do want to.
Still, you got the classes still going, or are you
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
to get back into that?
So
or?
I do have the classes going. I'm actually making like a commercial for that right now. So I'm gonna like promote it and post it. I've like made so much content in the past that I just need to put it all together and like actually take the time
Yeah.
for that. So I'm still doing the classes. I have made a salon success manual. That was all from scratch. That is on my links. If you go on my website, you can find it there. And then a couple ebooks about like branding and marketing yourself or like the beauty industry. And just a couple of, like, things in general about your business and stuff. So you can like find that there. But I would like to like, create like a book or something, not to be like self-centered or anything, but it's just
Not
like,
at all. Why would that? Yeah.
just like the journey of like coming from, an island and being raised in Fort Pierce, and the things like the obstacles just having to overcome.
No, it's important
and,
to tell your story.
Yeah. Create a business. And like, I just, sometimes you're so in it, you don't realize like the impact or the things that you're actually doing, or you don't
Or
like.
you're so humble, you're like, you don't want to see it in yourself. But people tell you, you're like, Jonnie, you realize you did all this? I'm like, I really wasn't trying to pay attention to it. But
you're just
now
on
that
to
you
the next
mentioned it, I guess,
thing, like,
so I
Yeah.
get that totally.
Yeah, when you look back, though, like it was like really hard to accept like compliments sometimes, because I had so many girls in the salon, like I don't want to rub off anybody wrong. So like when I would have clients come in and they're like, oh, like, yeah, I love your work and this and that, and I'm like, oh, well, these girls are so great too. Like you should
Yeah.
definitely see their work, and like I don't know how to be like, thank you, like. I didn't want to be like all in, my head or anything like that. But yeah, but then looking back, I'm like, you know what? You did work hard for that. Like, so you should be okay with accepting the compliment. Like, it's okay to be like, yeah, you know what? I did do the dirty work and I got here. Like, so it's okay to take compliments.
Receive it.
Especially, receive it. When you put the hard work in, the dirty work, so
Yeah. Where can people find you?
So social media is like my big thing right now. doing a lot of influencer stuff and branding. You can find me on Instagram mainly. Facebook, I'm there, a little family, friend stuff. And if you want to actually come into the salon, it's right on US 1 between Kitterman and Prima Vista. So it's like right actually down.
Okay.
Yeah, right there. And yeah, so I mean, if you want to go on my website too, anayandai.com. A lot of people ask too, they're like, they ask Annie, because when you spell it out, it's like, oh, who's Annie? And I'm like, it's actually Anai, and it's my daughter's middle name, and it means beauty in Hawaiian.
Okay.
In another life, I feel like I'm Hawaiian or something, like because I love the island,
Yeah.
I actually didn't even name my salon. I didn't even name my daughter. Like, I'm not that creative with that stuff. Yeah, like you could throw like ingredients at me and I'll cook and whatever, but like names are not my thing. I didn't even name.
That's what ChatGPT's for.
Yeah, well, that would be great if it was like 10 years ago if they had that.
True. Now they had like baby books back then. Like,
Yeah. And man, what I would do, like creating my business now with ChatGPT, that would. You guys utilize your sources, your resources. Yeah. You got Canva out there. You got all these like AI, all these apps now. Like, it's so crazy.
100%.
Yeah. Designing things, like the stuff that I would do and the money that I would have saved to just like, have the access that I have now. But, everyone's journey is different. So
you're big on social media too, like with as far as content creation and stuff like that. Is that part of maybe something for the future for you, or is that something you're already?
I've always like loved and admired like the women that can make money being a mother or being like in their natural element. I was like, I have a passion in cooking. I have a passion in designing my home or going on vacations and like doing motherly things and activities. I'm teaching my daughter, like health and being alkaline vegan. We were doing that for a long time. Like I was super strict on my health.
So it's alkaline, like you can't eat anything acidic? Or?
Nothing acidic, nothing like in cans, nothing fried, nothing processed, even fruits and vegetables, like anything that's acidic, like I didn't do that. Like super strict. So that's what helped me also like stay disciplined in my whole, I didn't go out for 5 years. Like I just like was very strict into like creating my business.
But that's it, that mind, body, and spirit. If you get into that realm and you're able to live there and kind of have that habitual kind of discipline, I think that can... That's what makes or
puts
breaks.
you like so many years ahead. Like I've had my friends where like, or people that I was just watching on social media and they're like on yachts and they're doing all this stuff and, college life. And like I said, I didn't go away for college. I was kicked out my first semester, literally my first semester. And I was like, okay, that's nice. But, that's also like that would get in the way of like creating what I'm creating right now.
Yeah.
So like, I'll enjoy that. Like when I can get to a point where I feel comfortable also being like, I was a young mom, had my baby at 20. So like I had like no other, choice and I couldn't be distracted. So, having all that discipline, eating right, the spirit, like everything, structure. So yeah, I kind of forgot where I was going with
the social media.
Social media, yes.
It's
so
entertainment.
Making money from that. Yeah.
It's like people nowadays, there's no like TV, like they were just talking about it the other day, like the cable television is gone. Now you have to like rent a premium, television app for the month or whatever. And then you have social media. Like there's been nights where in the past, like even me and my wife are like sitting there watching something on our phones and she's over there. Like obviously,
yeah.
You're entertained
like,
by different things now, but it's learning too, right? Instead of watching a TV show, you're like, hey, I want to learn how to do this. And it's like 15-minute YouTube video. And
the only like the downside about that is like everybody wants instant gratification. Like, so it's like, not a lot of people want to sit out for certain things and like watch and like the commercials now, like the kids, they're like, what is it? Like, why do we have a commercial? Skip this. I want,
so like, care.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, there's like pros and cons to everything, but yeah, social media, like I would say, if you utilize it in a way where like, make it into positive, because everyone always loves to say like, oh, I hate social media. I hate, like I don't post my life on there and but like you can actually utilize it to make you some money and, put it in an atmosphere where like, you got these brands that want to work with you because you're just posting your normal daily life thing, and they want to send you off. And I met an influencer that was sent off to Disney Cruise and paid $100,000. I was like, teach me your way. Like, I thought, because actually, I'll tell you. So we were on our honeymoon. Me and Nick. I was gonna say hubby. me and the hubby, and I met these influencers, and they came up to us. And because there were another young couple, there were two young couples, and we were, drinking and whatever. And she was like, "Yeah, we're influencers," and I'm like, "Okay,
yeah."
Like, so, like, what's the most they make? In my head, like, being very superficial. I was like, "What, 10K?" I'm like, "Cool," because like my business has made really good money, and I'm like, whatever, And I've poured so many hours into that, but I'm like, wow. She just told me she made $100,000 just for going on a Disney cruise. Like, you pay like 20K for that alone, So I was like, all right, I'm listening. Like, so that's when I like decided, all right, it's been 2 years. I wanted to like take this a little bit more seriously. And so we are working with an agency and setting up some brand deals, and I got paid for just doing like simple things, basic things that I already do in my life. And just kind of like gearing my social media in that area. It was a little hard to change from just like a businesswoman, like beauty, like all that I was posting. And if you scrolled on my Instagram, like I had everything organized. Like I had like a quote, I had my page, like, my work, me, and then I had like a page filler. Like it was like very organized. And but I was like, okay, how am I gonna put my personality on here? Like I want
the
people
lifestyle,
my personality, my lifestyle, my family. Like that's what I want to promote more, because I don't want people to just think I'm just a beauty guru.
Right.
Like I have more to me. There's a little bit more underneath the surface, and so I was pretty happy to like finally make that change, and I see that a lot of people like that type of content. So
I can like, would you say that it was something like you never thought was gonna happen?
I kept thinking it was like farther away from me. So actually, Nick set up the call with the agency secretly because I kept saying like, oh no, I'm gonna wait till I have like 100,000 followers.
Yes. Yeah. Same thing. Like you set yourself up. We're like, oh, I'm not good enough yet, or I don't think I'm there yet. And even like anybody, like whether it's in church or whatever it is, they're like, oh, I don't have the faith. And it's like, you got it all. You just gotta do it.
Just gotta do it. And and I just kept thinking like it was not like I thought like followers amounted to how good you were, but like I had 3 million views a month like on my stuff. So I'm like, clearly people like the content. Like I'm just not gaining a lot of followers at this point. And as soon as I got on that call with the agency, they're like, yeah, we're ready. And I was like, I got off, and I started crying before I even got off. And I was like, I can't believe it. It's like, thank you, God.
It's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I didn't even think it, like I was ready. I talked to another influencer. She was like, oh, wait till you have like 150,000 followers. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Like I will never start. But thank God to like my husband and just doing that like little secret, booking. Because I saw in my email, I was like, what just came through like on my schedule? What are you talking about? Like a Zoom call? I don't have a Zoom call with anyone.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's awesome. He set it up.
Yeah.
He called you off the bench.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do that. Game.
Yeah. You got to be a little uncomfortable to get the results, like different results. So I was pretty happy with that. Like I've got some good deals, and I've always been doing this even before the agency. Like I've been promoting a lot of local businesses, like iCryo. Like I'm like so known there.
He hit me up. Like, he's like, you look like a fighter. I'm like, well, I've been in some fights before, but I'm not. So I don't know, like,
no, they're great over there.
I always thought that stuff was witchcraft. I'm learning now, like red light therapy and all that stuff. Like it's
all natural. Like I'm into all the natural things. Like I do love, the red light therapy really helps with inflammation and like the whole like the blood and the blood flow and all the things. All that stuff. So, you never know until you try it, until you actually do the research and stuff. So when they actually called me during COVID, I had a lot of companies call me during COVID to promote for them, like even a chiropractor and all that stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'm down. Like,
would you say that, because I've had like some folks reach out as well, but there's some things that just didn't align with me. Like there's, one app was like, hey, we do this thing and you take a book and AI breaks it up book that takes you 2 weeks to read in 15 minutes. And I'm like, that's what I need. Like, I want to read that book in 15 minutes. And but I did a couple of posts with them, and it was like, I aligned with that. That was something I would personally use. So then there's like, people that sell their soul for any, deal that comes. And it's like,
I'm really big on actually talking about that. I've spoke about that on my story. I feel like I don't just take anything. I take what I feel like that I really truly believe in. Like, I'm not going to just promote something just because I'm getting paid, a little something. Like, if it doesn't align with, what I represent or what my page represents, like, I'm not going to talk about it. So, and, maybe it's for somebody else, but it's not for me. And I'm really big on that. I got to really believe in the brand.
Yeah. 100%. Awesome. One thing I definitely wanted to touch on, it's been an awesome conversation so far, by the way. Speaking to the younger generation, obviously that's one, we got a lot of younger crowd watching, and what would you say to someone that's like up and coming, maybe like a high school young woman or young man? You never know if there's men that do makeup nowadays too. So that would want to get into, your field.
I would say, just be a little bit a day. Goes a long way. So don't feel discouraged that you just only did a little bit. It's okay. And some days you're going to go full force. But I would definitely say look into a mentorship. That's first way you got to go. You don't want to just spend all this money that I did. I wasted just going in circles and so much time I would have just cut just from having somebody just to guide me. Just stay determined, stay positive. All the outside noise. Sometimes you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. But it did help with me. Like the more that I talked about something, it's kind of like a vision board. The more that you see it, you put it right in front of your mirror in your bathroom, and
speak it into existence.
Yeah, you see it more. Like it just ends up happening. So that was kind of my thing. I just kept talking about it with my clients, or kept talking about oh, I want to open this and just kept on going and became obsessed with it. So yes, that's another thing is become obsessed with what you want to do. Especially in the beauty industry. Really, really get good at what you want to do. Don't compare, use other people as inspiration. What is she doing to get her to that point? What do I need to do to get there? Maybe sometimes even reach out to them. Don't feel.
It's the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, exactly. They just say no.
Some people, I feel like I have resting asshole face, they call it, where I look intimidating, but people meet me and they're like, dude, you're a big teddy bear, and it's but opening yourself up to hey, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. And same thing with, I just ask people. I've learned that oh, how did you get this information? Well, I asked the guy that does it for a living. So
exactly. Literally what's the worst that could happen? Yeah. It's so funny because I just posted this thing on my story. It was a huge galaxy. And then it pointed out one little dot and it's here you are thinking about what other people think of you. And being stagnant, and sometimes you just don't make a move because you're just should I ask them? Should I, should I do this? Should I, you're just questioning, and you're just in that circle. So sometimes you just gotta, make that first step and,
Yeah. Was that something you struggled with?
Not really. I've always been a risk taker, I will say. I mean, there has been times where if I went through my sad seasons, some depression here and there, I'd just kind of be in my little bubble. But I mean, I remember questioning a bunch of makeup artists that were famous, questioning a bunch of eyebrow artists, people who had salons, and they got no responses back. But I'm okay. And then that's how I got the Cardi B gig.
Right.
I just reached out to their manager and I was hey, I see she's in Florida. Does she need a makeup artist? And they're yeah, come on.
Really?
So sometimes you just gotta take that.
Ask.
Yeah.
I can identify with that.
Yep. So that's been great. And I've worked with Serena Williams and Venus Williams. So just little influencers too. And you don't know until you really just take that risk. So I'm a big risk taker.
What would you say the biggest legacy or the biggest impact that you would like to leave on the earth?
So I talk about this a lot. I love this question. I love, so the biggest thing is when you're on your deathbed,
right.
and you do this little flashback and it's what have I actually left in this world that can, the legacy that can go on. And a lot of people, sometimes they're in this like little bubble where they just want to keep it all to themselves. You know, everything that they've learned in life and they're successful, you know, just put it in my family or just keep it all to myself. And I feel like, you know, once you've like accomplished something great, to me, I want to show other people how to do this, you know, so that they can like, you know, build their legacy and do their things. And so I just feel like, you know, as being an open book, and if people have questions, like I'm always here to answer. And like, I don't know, just being like a good human being. Like that's what there was a thing that you had me fill out, and I was like you're like, what are you going to promote? And I'm like, being a good human being.
No, I feel like if the world needs more of that.
Yeah.
Just being decent.
Yeah. And, you know, why be mean? Why be angry? Why be, you know, like you just have one life, and like the next day is a new day to do new things and, you know, try again. So, yeah, I feel like with the legacy is just like, just be good, be a good person, give back, do what you can do. You know, if somebody needs information, give it to them. Like,
awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you.
Everything, like I said, I think you're definitely going to leave some value to some folks that are going to watch. So,
thank you.
Do you have anything else you want to say?
I mean, I really love that this community has people like you, has people like my husband, like people that just are like really bringing an impact and doing for the next generation, and just doing for just in the community in general, like, you know, bringing positivity, doing good things, and not really having to, you know, like when I grew up, it was like the way to make it was like doing the bad things, you know? So I love to see the positivity in this community. And, I mean, I support.
Well, you're part of it. You're part of the positivity in this community too.
Thank you.
So,
yeah. So, I mean, I love to see all the women doing their things, and the boss movement. And, even if you just choose to be a mom, you know, that's okay. I admire that. So, as long as you just find your 100% and you put your passion in, and, you know, put your everyday, I feel like I'm rooting for it. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. We're definitely, we're going to drop all her links in the bio so you can follow her, go check her out, go check out the studio. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and, you know, show some love, and leave a comment. So thanks for tuning in to another Discipline Legacy podcast episode.